and then I'm going to running versions, and then immediately it will create the version itself. So it's like I'm installing the AWS in this case.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed.
Hey, welcome to Rifki the Cyber. We know the company Amazon is really a giant company. It belongs to the owner of the Jeff Bezos, one of the guy in the list of the richest guy in this world, right? We can see there's a Warren Buffett. We can see also there is a Elon Musk, etc. there. Amazon is growing from the bookstore and become web service provider. Now we know there is a company, the name is AWS, Amazon Web Service. And in Amazon Web Service, they provide the very rich features there. Even if you want to make something that in the cloud, that using, for example, Kubernetes, they have their own service like Elastic Kubernetes Service. That is one of them. And if you want to have a bucket, they have their own S3 bucket. So you just make it easy to instance and deploy everything there. Today, I'm going to tell you how we can have a AWS CLI, Amazon Web Service, command line interface without installations. But instead of installations, we will use the container of Docker in this case. So how we can do that? Let's test, guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this command. It's very simple. This is the command Docker running this remove after finish interactive mode with the Amazon AWS CLI. This is the repository from the hub of the Docker itself, AWS, and immediately it will give us the response that we download. Now we can start this. Okay, enable to find the image. Yes, because I don't have it here, right, guys? Okay, it start pulling the image from the Amazon AWS CLI. Anyway, guys, I'm going to use AWS CLI in this case. It's not for the Amazon. For what, Rifki? For my next video, I'm going to access some system that they provide the like or the mocking of the protocol of the AWS CLI in this case. So to make you not miss, please subscribe. Don't forget to push the like button in this case. And after that, share to your friends, share to your colleague, and share your family. Don't forget, guys. Okay, guys, pull completed, and then immediately give us the CLI versions of this one. And we can observe also from the dashboard of the Docker, the AWS CLI is already created here. Somehow, in the container is immediately removed because I give the command of removing here. This is not only downloading, but also giving us the version because I'm running it with the argument version in this case. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to go to the next command in this case. This is the command that I'm going to run now. So this command is docker run remove interactive, and then I'm going to try to mounting of the current of the home of the directory. You know, right? The worm like this is a directory of home of my AWS file towards to the inside of the container. This one in the left side is my PC, and this one is in the container. Because this command somehow the AWS CLI somehow this command is always only look at their own inside of the directory of their container. If you prefer the command inside of the container to read the file inside of our PC, you need to mounting it, guys. So what happened is the file that we mounted, the directory that we mounted in our PC, when we fit inside of the container, the container able to look at it, that one directory outside of the container in this case. If I draw, it will be looks like this. This is our PC, the big one, and this is the container. I'm going to give, for example, this is like green. So if you look at this, for example, the blue is our PC, which is in this case is my MacBook in this case. And inside of my PC, we have home AWS. This file is not enabled to read by default to also the container. And when I want to run the AWS CLI reading inside of this directory AWS, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to fit this one and I'm going to mounting it inside of the root in this case. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this one, this file, I'm going to go to, for example, configure the access key. Maybe I'm quite too rush in this case, but the access key itself is if you have some access key and secret key, when you have like easy to instant, etc., you need to configure it inside of your AWS CLI, right, guys? I'm going to mounting the AWS file inside my home here towards to the root.aws inside of this container itself. So I need to put -v, and this is the command, my home directory with the file AWS towards to the root of the container AWS. And this is the image that we already download. So I'm going to run this one. Okay, it's already asking, for example, what will be the access key that I'm going to put it here. For example, I'm going to put blah 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 ZXXXXX, and then I'm going to put blah 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 blah, and then edgy. And then just choose none. Finish, guys. And for example, I'm going to put like this, so we can see, look at this. What I already enter here, ZX, and ZZ is already reflected here in this case, guys. But guys, we want to avoid to running this very long comment, right, guys? So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to make it easy by putting that in the alias in this case. So this is the alias comment. I will not running this basically. So I'm going to put this inside of my profile. Because I'm going using the MacBook, the profile name is ZSHRC file in this case of the profiles. But maybe you are using the Linux or Ubuntu, maybe you are using the dot profile in this case. I don't know in the Windows. Check it, guys. So I'm going to put it this one, and I just simply put it like this, guys. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to restart my terminal. So when open again, and then I'm going to running the AWS IR, and then I'm going to running versions, and then immediately it will create the version itself. So it's like I'm installing the AWS in this case. So guys, that is the how I have a AWS CLI tools inside of my laptop without install it. Instead, I'm using the containerization of the Docker itself. So please watch for my next video in the future, because I'm going to use this AWS CLI but not accessing the AWS at all. But feel free, you want to access it with your bucket in the S3, etc. You can try it, guys. But I'm not going to use this for the AWS. For what? Just watch my future video. But to make you not miss my video, please subscribe, like, and share to others also, right, guys? So subscribe it, guys. So as I always say in my other previous video, keep learning and stay humble.